Fuck, I was muted. Sorry. Hello, be snap, JB5957. How you doing? I was saying hi and I forgot that I was muted. Great. Sorry about that. I'm not gonna pay attention too much to chat, but I'm just setting things up for rather honestly, an honest-to-god quick YouTube stream. Great, and me? I am doing great. I was just bored, really. So I thought that we'd do this stream again, but this time with the recent rated Mythic levels. Now that we are at 202 rated levels in the game that are legendary and mythic. Yeah, 202. Can you believe it? And what better way to go ahead and, I guess, quote-unquote, celebrate the occasion by doing the tier list again. Okay, so let me give you the information right here. I did this stream back in, I'm gonna say, like, early May, late April, in between the lines of the two. But, the most I can say the estimate is when Espiazione was the last rated mythic level. And this was before skeletal shenanigans, before I beat that guy called Enderman here. So this is just gonna be the stream today. I'm gonna talk about some rearrangements, talk about where some levels are placed. You may have seen, if you have seen the video where I ranked all of the legendary and mythic levels combined together, you should know about some placements, but you don't know all of them. Because like some of them I rated a 7.5, and then I just never revealed it. Some of them I rated an 8 at 7.5. This is how we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do the stream. We're just gonna remake these. We're gonna reorganize them, and we're just gonna talk about them again. This time I have actually played through every single one of the mythic levels. Before I didn't. These, as I said, that got called in the menu. Those are the only two that I haven't beaten yet. So with them being beaten now, and fast forward a couple days later, I can confidentially say that I have beaten all of them. And now we're just gonna get started with this. I need some things up first. I'm gonna have some music up. It's gonna be quiet, but I hope it's loud enough. 3, 2, 1. Nope. Come on. I mean, yeah, this can work. This can work. And then one last thing that I need to up is my image. So I can talk about what I changed. I also convert this to white. Alright. Now we can begin with music playing in our ears. Yeah, I have to Kirby playing Robot OC up. Okay, so basically what I changed in this tier list, I'm gonna start off with like some of the placements. As you can see, I added in well, okay. As you can see, this is the original. I actually just rearranged this from back when I did the original tier list. Since then, I added 2 more tiers, that being S+, S, and then A+, and then A. Renamed C to C and below. And completely deleted D tier off to the existence. And then also since then I have the colors changed as well. Let me do this. No, that's just an A+, my bad. A+. Red. That's a deeper orange. That's the orange that I expected. Okay. So this is like the changes that I made to the tier list. Unfortunately, Fedia Grungus, not in my favorites anymore. This is now S+ tier. Because compared to these two, I rated this a 10 out of 10. This is rated 9.5. Kisaragi, below Fedia Grungus in this regard. Again, 9.5 compared to the others that I rated a 9 out of 10 right over here. This is basically how I sectioned the what the hell do you call this? My rankings. I sectioned them to like based on the rating that I gave these levels. So like 9.5, 9.5. All this is a 9. All of this is like 8.5 or an 8. This leans towards like a 7, and then this is like a 6 and below. 6 is like the absolute lowest that I can go in terms of me. Any changes that I made right over here? Okay, yeah, A+. So Terminus, Astrolith, and Abducted are in the A+ tier. Then, what came next is that I played them in here. I thought it was an A tier. Final Orbit, A tier. Espione Zione stays in place, and Third World also stays in place. ADE and Space-Time Continuum, B tier. Below the above the Talvers. I think the Talvers is like, it's a pretty good level. I mean, it's pretty good. It just sets the standards for, you know, the Mythic Levels, breaking all expectations of them being like highest of qualities and all that stuff. Now the biggest one, Dead God Called in Favorites. And this is widely known information if you had seen the video of me like ranking the videos. Let me turn out the music real quick. Oh wait, I just realized I exposed it a bit. Oops. Yeah, Dead God Called in Favorites. I talked about how this is like my favorite hard demon in the game, despite it being a mythic platformer video game. I genuinely really liked the level. I genuinely really enjoyed it. I like playing smart with my cards. Bellatrix kind of helped with the with the boost of this rating and enjoyment. But like generally speaking, this is still a really, really solid level. I really love Dead God Called. Right, and that's the changes that I made. I decided that D tier is kind of a bit harsh. I don't think every level here is bad. At most, it's the lowest tier of Rage Quit, the lowest level here. This is a below average level. D tier is like, it sucks. But Rage Quit is far beyond that. Let's read your ranking right over here. Number 1, Koya. Number 2, Dead God Called. Number 3, Abducted. Abducted at number 3 is kind of crazy. But respectable. Number 4, The Tower vs. 2. Number 5, Space Time Continuum. Number 6, Backbeat Revenge. Number 7, Espione. Number 8, Aperture. Number 9, ADE. Number 10, Final Orbit. Fairly respectable and fairly, honestly, understandable opinions. Oh my god, we're still going. Number 11, Next Cap Soon. Number 12, WannaCry. Oh, WannaCry that low? I personally think it's the greatest thing in existence. Number 13, Itacarnus. Number 14, Funhouse. 15, Kisaragi. 16, Berserker. 17, Astrolith. 18, Bosch. I'm gonna have an issue with this one later, but I'm gonna save it until I actually get to it and talk about it. 19, Skeletal Shenanigans. Okay, that's understandable. Number 20, The Men Here. Also fairly understandable. I assume Rage Quit is probably at your bottom as well. I'm waiting for the rest of the levels to appear up. To, like, pop up. Up, here we go. 21 Stronghold?! I don't think that it's that low. What? Oh, wow. The Tower is 23. Rage Quit... Oh, wait. The Tower is 22. Rage Quit 23. GD Gangster Rap 24, 25 out of place, 26 Arc Turn, 27 Third of the World, 28 Legends Path, that's also incredibly low. 29 Labyrinth, 30 Geometry Quest 2, 31 Button Mashers, 32 Terminus. What? Terminus is awesome. What are you talking about? Personally, okay, with Terminus, I can understand it is like a trial process. Like you have to go through an entire trial and error process in order to beat the level. So I can understand the distaste towards Terminus. Deco is also kind of understandable if you're rating it in that regard as well. Consider that I also have beaten all of them. Oh, great. 33 Space Invaders. Yeah, I see people having a big distaste towards Space Invaders, but I'll get to that in a second. Pixpath 2 is fairly understandable. Feed Your Gungus 35. Absolutely fucking not. I think Feed Your Gungus is one of the funniest mythic levels that we could ever have. The funniest 100th rated mythic level that we could ever have. And then your last place level is Tasai. I'll get to Tasai in a bit, but how's that for my rating? So you see, you put Skeletal Shenanigans at 19. I put it at my top 5. I personally think Skeletal Shenanigans and WannaCry are really good in their own right. It's just incredibly difficult for me to like pinpoint as to which one I like better. So this is why in the video you see like 2 and 3 and not 3 and 2, not 3 and then 2, just 2 and 3. That's a representation that those two are really much tied. And I get it, you know, like the popularity, the brain rot and all that stuff, people have gotten sick and tied to the bone of this being in like every YouTube Shorts GD YouTube ever. But I beat this before it bloomed in its popularity. You can see it in the leaderboard placements. I actually had placed 15th in the global leaderboards. I personally think it's a fantastic level. The keyframe animations are absolutely insane. The boss rush is so incredible. It's very unique. It does something that a lot of GD levels don't actually do a lot, and that's telegraphed attack patterns instead of them being just pattern based. They're more telegraphed, if anything. And the art style is also really good too. Castle theme level S12. Gotta give my biases to that. I think comparing both this and WannaCry is kind of a difficult task for me because, again, both are equally good in their own rights, and it's hard for me to pinpoint which one I prefer one over the other. You see, the reason as to why WannaCry is up higher than Skeletal in this tier list, it's the oldest. It's the oldest. No joke. I like to put, whenever I break a tie, I always put the oldest over the youngest because WannaCry is the oldest amongst this. That's why it's like, that's why it's below it. It still can't beat this though. It genuinely cannot beat this. Okay, next up. Wait, I should also explain about the thumbnails. And you can see from. This is why I wanted the original image so that way I can actually show you what the tier list looked like before. Because I changed a lot in the thumbnails, as you can see. Which one was it? Third of the World was just a mountain in the actual level, like the starting screen. I changed it to Jay Shadows' verification thumbnail of this. GD Gangster Up, I made it the thumbnail of the music video because I personally think the music video for GD Gangster Rap, the thumbnail for the GD Gangster Rap music video, is absolutely, it's really good, honestly. And then next capstone, no joke, I literally changed it because, okay, I talked to Jonathan GD, I talked to that guy. When I did an initial tier list and when I had the initial thumbnail for next capstone, he did not get what that was. He did not get what that was. Same with Terminus too. So I changed it so that way it has like the name of the level. If it also has like bit of a level in it, like as you can see here with Ashlith, Quoyon, WannaCry, Feed Your Grungus. Cool, awesome. Title, also cool and awesome. So I changed the thumbnails a lot. As you can see with the, let me go out of the normal view. Here's the credits to these people that have made them. One by Ticklers, it's both Bosters 2, Talvis and Talvis 2. Ilville for the Ashley thumbnail. Leo, yeah, I'm just gonna say Leo because it's a complicated name, it's Korean. For its a majority of the thumbnails actually, I changed the Kisaragi thumbnail. I changed the Pixelpath 2 thumbnail. It's only because I don't want to make it just Erduri, who had like the majority of the thumbnails here, thanks to Vibrant. And so I wanted it to be like completely different. Peter NG for the Next Capsule thumbnail, also did the Aperture thumbnail. Mixed and Nexus for the Terminus thumbnail. Electro for the Esfizione thumbnail. Electros, who did the art for Skeletal Shenanigans at the end screen. Daytime, just Daytime. Daytime for the Space Invaders thumbnail, and then the creators themselves, meaning the creators themselves had actually like done the thumbnails themselves, like they got called Feed Your Grungus, Quoyon, Out of Place, Abducted, the Men Here, so on and so forth. So yeah, I changed a lot. Looks fire, yeah. These thumbnails absolutely look insane. That's why I wanted to change them. I want them to look a bit more unique, in my opinion. Anyway, let's move on to the new stuff. Backbeat Revenge. This is gonna be a little bit controversial because I know how damaging to the eyes this can be. Like, there's no mistake, Backbeat Revenge is probably the most epileptic mythic level in the game. That does not change the fact that I really like it, though. I think you have such shitty eyes, you wouldn't like this as much as many other people do, but surprisingly enough, the gameplay is relatively simple, relatively easy. It's not like overall punishing when you die. Like, remove all the flashy effects and then it's just what do you call this? Remove all the flashy effects and it's just free. Shouldn't have been an event level. There's this one person that I did watch who said I think it was a mistake of calling this an event level, but they still considered it their favorite level. And I actually agree with that. It's still a great level on its own, but like, this blinded the eyes of many kids, and probably a lot of people have started wearing glasses thanks to Backbeat Revenge. I think it was a mistake also, like, leaving out, not putting in an epilepsy warning, not taking into consideration of how bright and flashy this could be, so the fact that they had to take note after this, yeah. Anyhow, next up. Neptune's Path. I'm very much shocked that well, Beast Snap. I'm surprised that Well Beast Snap. You put it at, what do you put it? 28 in your own ranking. I personally think it's like S+, really. Underwater aesthetics. I'm like, it's very immersive. I'm personally like easily blown away by immersive levels. Neptune's Path definitely does it in that department. It's so nice and it's so clean. It's so nice, so simple, so short too. I'm too busy vibing out to the Korea OST right now. Neptune's Path is just, I personally really like it. I can see why. Doesn't really match well with the bit too short for my liking. I would have given it a legendary rating if I could. Yeah, I get that, but like, consider like the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mythic level platformers here. I think a short one is kind of necessary for it to exist, because like the future platformers that came afterwards, they're pretty long. There were some discussions about there being like mythic populations being like way too long. I think we need like a shorter one for once, and I think Neptune's Path does fit the bill for that. I can understand it being a legendary variant though. Let's choose the fact that I've absolutely enjoyed the level so much. You're gonna kill me for the Space Invaders one though. Hear me out. This is only here because because Subwoofer is one of my favorite creators in the game. Really, you can, okay, I can understand. Too long, too boring, not really much engaging in that department. I still genuinely really like it, but this is coming from a personal bias standard, because I really like Subwoofer's stuff. And also, the side paths, dude. The side paths for the coins are really... They're also really unique and interesting. They're good ways on how to make interesting coin placements. Sentinel better than Space Invaders? Yeah, I can understand that. I personally prefer Space Invaders over Sentinel. But I like both. I do like both. Also, I have a general liking towards XXXL levels, so that also contributes to the placement of Space Invaders. When I compare it to Out of Place, Out of Place does feel a little bit too slow for my liking, but I still really like it for its immersive atmosphere. Space Invaders also pretty long, but it's more my speed, and also I personally think the gameplay is more... The gameplay in Space Invaders does a lot more than compared to Out of Place. I think he also said Out of Place is... it's above Space Invaders. Ooh. I don't know about that though. But I can understand the natural distaste towards Space Invaders. I putting it here still though, because I like Subwoofer. The Talvis 2, like the most expected mythic level in the game. The most expected mythic rate in the game. And honestly, this is a massive step up for the Talvis. Like, you went from pixel style level looking simple, just making a straight to the point, like break all expectations of mythic levels being of a higher quality. Also, Space Invaders are a bit weird to me. I can't see that. I can't see why you would not like the colors in this one. Anyhow, back to the Talvis. From like a basic pixel style level to like very much improved in quality pixel style level. And also like the fighting mechanics. I personally really like it with when there are boss fights in platformers, which I'll get to Arcturine in a bit, but Talvis 2 is genuinely honestly really fun. Certainly after just one playthrough, I kind of was just like, yeah, it was good. I'm gonna call it a day though. Replayability kind of lacks a little bit. That's why I put it in S tier instead of like any tier above it or below it. I think you gotta have something else in a platformer to come back to. And you succeed in that department, you're gonna have the players like come back to it now and then. Which is exactly what Boss Rush 2 very much did. And I personally really enjoy Boss Rush 2. I find going against the bosses to be like very fun. It's split into like different phases and sections. If you could, where would you put Tears of the Night? I put it in C and below. It's like at the very bottom of the barrel. Just because I don't think it was a good idea of Matthew Game to like just simply take assets from another video game, wordless, and yeah, take from another video game, wordless, and then just implement it into a GD level. Technically impressive as it is, it's not a good idea, and hence why I would put it in like C and below. Next. We are not here to hear Susie. We are not here to hear Susie die over and over again, mind you. But yeah, Tuesday night will be seen below, very bottom of the barrel. Back to boss rush. Boss rush. There's a lot of replayability in boss rush too, if I'm being honest with you. The original boss rush, I think, definitely lacked some things and definitely has left a lot to be desired in the original. But I still think it was a pretty fun idea, pretty interesting idea. And I liked going against the bosses. With Boss Rush 2, though, there's at least unique gimmicks to the level. Like, each boss fight has a different gimmick. And there's at least the most 1, 2, 3... more than 10 bosses in Boss Rush 2. They each have unique different gimmicks, and it doesn't feel tiring to play. It actually feels a lot of fun. It's actually pretty replayable. And also, like, representation of every single boss fight ever in the GD community. You know, with, like, Slam, Ultra Violence, Ice Fight with My Little Eye, and the original B, Horizon, as well as Sirius. Also, that's a pretty funny final boss at the very end, but I think to prevent, like, anybody else who has not heard of the level, I'm not gonna say much about it. So yeah, Boss Rush 2, S tier, S plus tier, actually. Really, really solid. Oh boy. Funhouse. This is honestly the level that I keep coming back to a lot. I don't remember where you put it. I think you put it at 14. It's honestly a top 10 level for me, a top 10 mythic for me. It's a bit, you can definitely tell it does look a lot rushed and a lot chaotic, but personally I really like that kind of style from Reaper. I don't know, I like it when levels go, I don't know, there's like some tendencies as to what I personally like in levels. Like sometimes I like levels that are more complex, like you see in these two. I like levels that go for the more simpler approach, which is why you see in like the legendary and mythic tier list is completely separate from it, but like if you have seen the video, I put space I guess at 8, but that's because I personally think it does simplicity at its best. There's like simplicity that I like, there's just a tendency of like an art level set in. I don't know what the fuck I wanted this in this game. But I do know I really like some variety in my favorites. I'll say before, this was right here. This is top 5. But then another level came into place and then it's not here, it's now here. I really love the animation. I like the gameplay of this level. Yeah, safeguarding kind of lame, but... And the gameplay does leave a lot to be desired. I don't fucking care. I'm having fun. I think that's what matters to me most about Funhouse. It's just a genuinely fun level. And I find myself coming back to this level, like, a lot, as I said before. Animation video is also pretty sick as well. It's Reaper. I mean, I'm not surprised he would follow up an level with an animation. Part of his very unfortunate event series, but that's not the name of the series of levels. But mind you, the whole adventures between Reaper and Alkali started because of an animatic called Very Unfortunate Events, and Very Unfortunate Events 2. Started with Insiligo, followed by Sky Tower, followed by The Tempest, and now we're at Funhouse. I like to call this a Very Unfortunate Events series because it started off with an animatic. It started off with the animatic called Very Unfortunate Events. It's also very funny. Alright, that's Funhouse Place. Okay, I've been placing a lot of levels in S and S+. It starts to slow down here, okay? Geometry Quest 2. I personally think RPG and GD definitely both well. However, Geometry Quest 2 is kind of an iffy for me. I cannot speak. I placed it at B tier. That's not me necessarily saying the level is bad. It's actually pretty good. Again, I like the idea of, you know, RPG in GD. I think RPG definitely works well, or both well as like a gameplay mechanic for a platformer. I think there's some bits that could have been done a little bit better. Like some polishing on the art style. It definitely feels a little bit washed out compared to the others. Does kind of feel a little bit repetitive. This is like the issue that I have with the original Geometry Quest. It feels repetitive. And like, I don't know, at one point I'm probably gonna get tired of it eventually. I think Geometry Quest 2, while it has an interesting gameplay mechanic, it's definitely a B tier. Right, next up, Labyrinth. I really wish I did not rush it. I feel like Geometry Quest 2 kind of takes a bit too much from its prequel. That's probably why I do like Geometry Quest 1 a lot more. I can see it. I definitely think they're both equal in terms of, I don't know, in terms of like gameplay value, replayability value. Again, there's like very little for me to go back and play the level again. Cause like I'm all about, cause like I come back to. Okay, we're doing no music this time. This OST I selected just has audio files for some reason. I don't need to hear Kirby drilling Star Dream. I'll play you something else. I'll play you something else later. But yeah, I can definitely see what you liking Geometry Quest 1 or Geometry Quest 2 a little bit better. Anyhow, back to Labyrinth. I genuinely wish I didn't try to like one and done it, because actually I really do like its gimmick of every single dungeon is randomized, and like it's a different layout when you exit out and then come into the to the dungeon. However, I had a very shitty time with this level, and for that alone, I'm putting it in the top of B tier. I was kicked in the ass so much by this level. And it's a shame, because I actually do like the idea behind Labyrinth, but the gameplay in this, not it. Which is, again, it's unfortunate for me to say this, because, as I said, with like me liking the whole idea of a roguelike 2D platform where every dungeon is randomized, I definitely feel as if there should have been a little bit of balancing, because some points definitely feel harder than the rest of them, and I don't think a beginner is gonna know what the hell to do at some point. Probably had the same experience, yeah. If you try to one and done it, yeah, this was definitely not the most fun platformer. Yeah, it's a real shame, but it's still very solid. I do like the idea behind it. Oh, the stealing gimmick is very hilarious. I think there was like 1 or 2 times that I was successful, and then the rest I just die. You gotta like time that jump very precisely. You gotta time when the shooting happens very precisely. It's because it's like very random as to if you succeed or not. And I know there's a power where it makes stealing a lot easier, but like I'm stuck with, I want to be using ice boots so that way I can go to the ice level first. The ice level as soon as possible, without slipping. So there's that. It's also like very painful to not have a compass for this. in that regard because I use ice boots, but I lack a compass. I'm just hoping. I'm just going to like the dungeon rooms. I'm hoping to God one of these rooms has a compass. It doesn't. It has at most a useless gadget that I don't need. Ain't no way in hell that's an actual thing. What? Oh, I did not know that. If that's an actual thing, then no, I didn't. That's interesting information. I never killed the Seeker because the Seeker is just so fucking annoying to deal with. He comes at you in like rapid speed. I'm just like, guy, let me get past you. I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm not going for your shit. I just want to be done with the level. He's very annoying to deal with, but it became less of an issue the more I started realizing how I started to learn how to pass him. So he wasn't a major issue, but he was still an issue regardless. That's interesting that you can kill the boss. You can kill the Seeker and then get a second life for it. I'm not gonna experiment with it right now. I'm not in the mindset to play GD at the moment. It's like an item you can hold, and if you die, it brings you back 3 seconds before your death. Dude, that is an interesting. I mean, I am done with the Labyrinth, but I can do some extra stuff for like 100% completion. I think at some point I'll try to experiment that. Maybe not. I don't know. Man, there's some strategies that I found in Labyrinth that I started utilizing. Definitely, I wouldn't say it's definitely optimal though, so. And experiences put into the mix, yeah, B+. Top of B, though. It's just top B. It's just B. Okay, so, looking at Itacarnus. You place Itacarnus at 13, which is very interesting. That's honestly relatively high still. I put Itacarnus right here, in S tier. It's like, in disregard of where everything is placed right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Damn, so it's like the same placement as you. Almost. It's just one above, one less. Hold on. Yeah. I genuinely really do like Itacarnus. I know people have the complaints about the gameplay just being unengaging and boring and all that stuff, but gameplay shouldn't really be that much of an issue. If you can do it in one attempt, you did it in one attempt, congratulations, you beat the level, now you can go ahead and go back to the extreme demon that you were playing like 5 minutes ago. There's no need to worry about wasting time. Itacarnus just gets straight to the damn point. Visually amazing, very striking indeed. The cutscenes are absolutely cinema. And the lineup of creators is just absurd. I looked at the lineup of creators and I'm like, how the fuck did they get Seokso? I mean, I know they know Zender Game, but how the fuck did they get Seokso into this? Also considering that the creators themselves, you know, like Glory, obviously Arclea, there's Renomi, Subpixel, KZ, CD, what's the CD pre in it? Hold on, I'm trying to remember. No, I don't remember. Aquarare, Chun, Bread King, Saito. Those group of creators are basically just fantasy artists. People often tend to have the complaint about levels going for the realism style, but I personally think... I don't know, I actually don't know if I want to say this, but... fantasy artists do realism style honestly a little bit better than what cartoon artists would do. In that regard, What do I say about, like, you know, the art style of Itak artists? Because really, realism is not that much of an issue for me. I think realism can be done, like, incredibly well. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up for me, actually. I mean, I'm just gonna leave it there. Itak artist is absolutely fantastic of a level. I really like the horror elements, and yeah, I just really like the horror elements and the cutscenes. I know the gameplay could have been done a little bit better. I know it's just so simple, so boring, so unintuitive, and all that shit. I could really care less. If I'm good at the game and I do it in one go, then I am totally fine with that. Oh boy. And then we go to Desai. Hold on, give me a second. Let me do something real quick. There's some background noises outside, I know. No. Let me just select the other thing. That's... Nope, that's not that. Here we go. Right. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Right. Tessar. I see that you put it at the very bottom of the list. And I genuinely agree. I really don't like Tessar. Yeah, Tessar is a really rough one. And I don't mean it in the best way possible. Like, the deco is honestly fine. The deco is okay. The checkpoint placements, though, are fucking scarce. I know there's like an update where they're more like closer to one another, but it still feels scarce. And it's like, yeah, and it's like, I know there's more to the level than there is, than the area that I'm just in. But I keep dying to this area, the same exact area over and over and over again, because the gameplay in this is fucking difficult. And the fact that the gameplay is difficult and knowing that I have to do more of the gameplay because the checkpoint is so fucking scarce. Ugh. It's just a mentally taxing level to play. I'm gonna be dead ass honest with you. It's such a mentally taxing level to play. I don't think it's worth trying to one-shot this level. Like, one-shot, I mean, do this in one sitting. Because the worst comes to worst, yeah, it's just mentally taxing, but like, you also gotta be aware of the situation that if you leave it open and something happens to your computer, it's gonna crash the game, and then the game's gonna forget where the fuck you were. I think you're a fucking psychopath if you try to do this in one session. Oh, I know about the original Tessar. I did it after the updates. And even then, I still didn't like it. I suffered to the original Tessar, and it was filled with bugs and extremely annoying checkpoints placements. Yeah, that's my main issue, the checkpoint placements. The checkpoint placements are so scarce. It still feels scarce even in the updates. I didn't do this before the update. I did this, like, after the updates. I did... It also makes me to say this, but I used platform as saves because I genuinely didn't want to put this... I genuinely didn't want to put my mentality to a damaging point. I would rather just do this level in sessions than having to do this in one sitting. I've done one level that is mentally taxing, but even then, Filter the World wasn't as bad. Tsar is just not fun. I think it's safe to say Tsar is definitely like, unfortunately, the second, I hate saying the word, but the second voice here. I will say the decoration does edge it out of a rage quit, so it gets a plus point above that. It's like a 5 out of 10 for me, even though that's generously high. But yeah, I think let's just move past Tsar and then let's just go on to something else that's worth. What the fuck? Why were you doing Labyrinth and Arcturine in one session? Okay, Arcturine, I get that this is meant to be like... Arcturine is like one session central, you can do this in one session. Labyrinth, you can also do this in one session. They have geomods! They have geomods that are intended for the game! For the level! You don't gotta put yourself into that torture, Jesus! Yes, I know I hate my life. I could very much visibly see that. I just think Tsar isn't worth doing this in one session. I think Labyrinth and Arcturine, probably, but Tsar, no. Okay, maybe Filter the World in one session, if you're willing to go ahead and put up 5 hours or 8 hours of gameplay, but even then. Okay, so let's move on. This A+ tier is getting kind of sad, so here's Stronghold at A+. It would be higher had I known about Stick Wars. Unfortunately, I do not know about Stick Wars, the original Flash game. So in that regard, it's gonna need to be a little bit lower than the rest of the levels. I'm still stuck on mobile as a proof that I can't cheat. Ugh, I see. I see why now. I'm on PC, so it's a little bit easier for me, but mobile players have it the absolute fucking worst. Yeah, anyway, Stronghold A+ here. I think the gameplay is definitely more engaging compared to like levels, compared to like Itacarnus and then Space Invaders and then as well as Funhouse. Stronghold, as I said before, had I known about Stick Wars long before this level, I think this would have been like an S tier or S+, simply because of representation. This makes the original Flash game like more expansive. It has the original ideas of the original Flash game, and Demihan made it in a way that it feels a lot more lively, if you know what I mean. I can definitely see in the original Flash game that it's very static. But even then, I still had a very fun time with this. The gameplay is more engaging compared to like the other levels that I mentioned that were event level. What else do I want to say about Stronghold? I think that's pretty much it. I guess the simplest thing that I can say is I like the art style. And I like the expansive world of Stick Wars. I even played the Flash game thanks to this level, but I don't know. No, I don't know. I find it very interesting, the original Stick Wars game. Yeah, that's why I like it. Okay, last but not least, Arcturine, for some reason that you decided to go ahead and one-shot this. I had absolutely zero knowledge about this level. I had no idea. I had no prior knowledge about this level. I don't follow I don't subscribe to the J Shadow, so I don't know anything about like the teasers and all that stuff. So I didn't know anything about this level. Looked at a stream and I was very interested immediately. And after beating it, it's the new top 5. I think taking my mistakes from Labyrinth and putting it into Arcturine, I decided, yeah, it's better if I just do this in like sessions Let's not try to one and done this. It's generally a more better, especially considering that there's a mod that you can use in order to save your progress. So yeah, I really like Arcturne in this regard. As mentioned with like Boss Rush 2, the bosses in platformers honestly carry so much replayability, especially when it's like you have either different gimmicks or different weapons for this. The Tower of 2 also has this, but does kind of fall flat on the replayability factor, so it's not that high of a bar compared to these two. And Arcturne's boss fights, they're genuinely some of the most fun, and they're some of the most fun boss fights in the platformer level. I used to really like how there's a health mechanic. Before in like Third of the World and the Men here, you had to like one-shot the puzzle or the dungeon or the gameplay, the level that you have to traverse to. But like with Arcturne's health progress, you don't die immediately. So it's like, I can definitely tell the J Shadow definitely wanted to put more emphasis towards the enemies doing more damage to you compared to the entirety of the level. And for that, Arcturne does a lot better in the gameplay. I wish there were secret collectibles in Arcturne for more replayability. Oh yeah, that's definitely understandable. I think if there was like a 100% completion type of thing, where you unlocked every single weapon, that would be awesome. And then you unlocked like a true final boss, because apparently that isn't the end of the saga. I forgot the name of the saga that the J Shadow gave his levels, like Third of the World and the Men here, but apparently it's not the end of the saga. I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, Arcturne is very much one of my top 5 favorites in the game. But one of my favorite platforms in the game, alongside Dead Got Cold. Because it's basically just a full-on indie game. It plays simple, yeah, but again, I don't know what you were thinking about doing this in one session, but it's understandable. The dungeons are pretty easy to traverse through. The boss fight is just what you need to worry about. Also, Moisten Egg released a level with all the weapons unlocked. It's like a boss rush. Aha. That's right. I actually have not checked that out. I only just played like the full-on experience. It was still very fun in one session. Fairly understandable. Yeah, that's very understandable. I could do this in one session if I wanted to, but like, and I was gonna initially stream this. I beat it off stream though. Thankfully, this is not like extreme demon difficulty. This is more hard to insane demon-ish, which I think is pretty well balanced for that level, especially if you have gameplay mechanics that are quite literally asking for your name to do it in sessions. There's not much else I can say about Arcturne other than just it being a really great platformer, really. Nope, that's GD again. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this is the tier list, as this is my ranking as of this. And if you want to know like the order as to where they're placed, we left to right, top to bottom. I genuinely do think the top 4 is very unlikely to change. This especially. This is very unlikely to change. These two are also very unlikely to change, and then Dead Got Cold also very unlikely to change. But Aperture is like my it being my favorite level in the game, this is the most unlikely to change ever. And that's I don't know what else to say about it, really. I think that this will definitely change in the future. Like the S plus, S, A plus, A, B, C, and below, definitely changing in at some point. Just not this. Maybe the top 5 would change if there's another level that comes into 5th. Oh, excuse me. It's very uncertain as to what, though. Let me show this off. So here is my ranking. Now I'm gonna show you my rankings of all the legendary and mythic levels in the game as of current. With the mythic levels in mind that I mentioned. Random Gauntlet contest deadline is on the 14th. Hopefully you'll get more than 7 mythics. You're saying you want 10 mythics? I think Raptor needs to slow down on the mythic rates. And I'm the guy that pays attention to them and... Okay, well, both of us have beaten them, but... I think Raptor definitely needs to slow down on the mythic rates a little bit. But yeah, the Random Gauntlet, I think after the Random Gauntlet, it's gonna slow down a little bit. There's definitely gonna be more in the distant future, that's for sure. Anyway, this is my rankings on like all the levels that are rated legendary and mythic. So like take the mythic ratings, combine them together alongside with the legendary ratings, and this is what you have. You know, slowly scroll down. So that way you can take it in. The song's over though, and I think the song would have been very perfect for it to be ending it off. Nice hit up though. Thanks. Now let me slowly take you to the bottom of the barrel in this tier list. And there are these levels that I don't have a very solid opinion on, the very last tier. Here's the bottom of the barrel. I mean, and here's Tears of Denial. I forgot to put this above Rage Quit. Actually, let me just change that. Yeah. That's below Rage Quit. As you tell, the Russian Fog level and Dead Device very bottom of this list. Zone Pirate 5 is not the worst legendary level in the game. Anybody that says that is a fucking fool. Zone Pirate 5 is like far from the worst legendary level in the game. The Russian Frog level is definitely there. I'll have to go. Thanks a lot for this live. That was amazing. Have a great day. Thank you for coming. I'm gonna promise nothing in terms of another stream. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, 202 rated legendary and mythic levels in the game. It's crazy how much there are in this game, and it's crazy how much Rotov has not slowed down in the slightest. I genuinely do think he needs to slow down at some point, but honestly, keep it up, I guess. I do hope with my placements. Oh, wait. I should say top 9 because iTunes here. I do hope with my future, with the levels in the future that come out, there's another 10 out of 10 legendary level. Not 10 out of 10 mythic level, 10 out of 10 legendary level. And that's because the Sushi before Arcturine, it's like legendary, mythic. Now with another mythic in the in the top 10, I'm hoping there can be another legendary level that will also take a top 10 spot. If it's orbit, that would be awesome. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's likely that orbit will get a legendary rating. Uncertain, really, but yeah. Yeah, that's all I really gotta say about this tier list. Again, very short stream. It's just me updating, like, you know, my ranking on all the legendary, on all the mythic levels in the game. I definitely wanted to update that one because it has been a couple months since then. As I said, last May. You know what? Screw it. Let's play the game. Hello, Diplodos. How you doing? You just came back to me being done with ranking every single mythic level in the game. With knowledge of me beating them, now you've come to me actually playing the game. And it's most likely just gonna be like, I'm just gonna fuck around and do stuff. I'm not really gonna grind out anything else. I'm not grinding an Extreme Demon. Yet. I'm not gonna grind an Extreme Demon yet. I do have some in the ring, in the pool. I have some in mind that I want to go for, but I'm not going for them yet. I think with the Extreme Demons that I've done this year, I've done more than enough in that regard. All I just need to do now is just make the Extreme Demon video. Which, I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna be done with that video. It's either gonna be next year or this, or by the end of December. Anything new? Actually, there is one thing that I could do. Excuse me again. Let me do this. Random gauntlet. 74 entries. There's some levels that I'm looking out for when doing the next random gauntlet entries video. This is one of them, and then there's another one. Celluloid Chase is another one of them. There's one by someone that I do know that is also in the same server as me, so that one's also going to be taken into consideration. If it's here, anyway. Is it here? Yeah, well, great. It's not here. Yeah, here's my proof that I've beaten every single one of the mythic levels in the game. Oh my god. It surpassed it. Hell yeah. Now you need to surpass Berserker in order to be the third insane level in the game. Insane mythic in the game. Bruh! That's just this thumbnail, but... It's just a thumbnail, but a different icon! No, put that back into Tinkloff's as this icon! It made sense that way! Just fast, wanna cry, Labyrinth, ADE, out of place, that got called. He's Octorin. Some of the mod is so I can definitely check it out. I'm not checking out the thing with what do you call this? The thing in Labyrinth right now, but I don't have the mod installed, so unlikely for me to check it. Right, I did thumbnails for legendary levels, not mythic levels. Damn it. Maybe I should update the aperture thumbnail. Probably. Maybe not. I don't know. Actually, I just came to this game because I wanted to fuck around and play some of the legendary levels in the game, but looking at it now, I realize I genuinely don't have any sort of drive for me to play a legendary level in the game, so... to play any level in the game, for that matter. So... I'm just kind of sitting around figuring out what the fuck do I do. I don't want to go for any extreme demons at this rate. I'm kind of just done playing extreme demons for the time being. 22,000. Look at this. 12,869. Nice. I'm watching from the beginning, so I hope the SAR is high. Probably not, because a lot of people didn't like the gameplay. I apologize in advance. I apologize in advance. That's all I'm gonna say, really. It's good. Why not? Play Aperture. Gonna blast my ears with this. I should be playing with the icon set that I think fits better. I use it to carry swing though. Gonna use my Invader Zim type swing. That's what I'm gonna call the reindeer swing. That's Invader Zim type. People have said that the reindeer swing does look like something from Invader Zim. I've yet to watch it, really. Oh god, it's laggy. Should I turn on frame exploitation? It'd be funny, but I'm not going to. Also, I'm pretty sure frame exploitation breaks literally everything in 2.2 level, so... Jesus Christ, the lag. The more that I play this solo, the more I just absolutely love it. It definitely has to be the frames, and it definitely has to be the bitrate on this one. Hold on. So I'm gonna do this in less video bitrate this time. It's just 6,000. There you go. Should probably be an easier time with a little bit less lag issues. So let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this definitely fixes it. this fixes it a lot, I realized. I guess my laptop doesn't like it when I stream at 6,000, sorry, anything above 8,000, or 6,000 rather. I have to see it if I saw him. What am I doing with this? A lot less laggy than before. Except for that part, apparently. And this part, surprisingly. The level of 2025, in my opinion. But then again, that's just me being biased. Alright, that's enough of that. Some other level, please. I actually don't know if I want to play anything else, really. I just don't have the drive to play anything that's like story grinding or just anything like that. I just want to play random shit and that's it. Is there a weekly? I don't like this weekly. What's the weekly here? Oh. I'm not playing this with song though. Fuck, I have the song. It's... Wait, digital C? Wait, hold on. Oh, it's a low life beaten apparently. Okay. I guess I'm gonna grind it out. Nope. Right, I sight read this level. Oh my god. Yeah, I guess after this completion I'll just have to stream that. My brain is forgetting. Don't worry about me, I got it. It's just I gotta build up my muscle memory, that's why. Like, remembering what I needed to do this level. I forgot what I needed to do, actually. Oh, fuck off. Oh no. My life is over. I died at 67. Oh, Jesus Christ. No! Damn it. Ay, ay, ay. Easy. There we go. Nice. I'm not bothered getting the coins though. There we go. That didn't take long. Right, I think at this point I am probably done with this stream. I genuinely have no idea what the hell to do, so I'm just gonna end it here. Well, thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you at a different timeline. No, I'm kidding, not in a different timeline. Another time, though. Yeah, I'm sorry to pull this if you find out where to so I had placed. My bad in advance, but it's how I feel, really.